No, I say let's raise some cane.
Let's raise some cane!
Yes. Yes, I am so here for whatever is about to happen. This is amazing. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you to the content gods. I don't know what we've done to deserve this, but this is most glorious. And we give thanks. We give thanks. I don't even think I'm going to be on the opposite side of the aisle of FriendlyJordies. I think we're going to be in agreement here, but it's called War with China. So I'm just more curious about watching this, to be honest.
Who's excited to go to war with China?
Not
What
me.
are journos that won't be fighting in the war, apparently?
True.
Well, that's the vibe I got from the announcement of the Australia-United Kingdom-USA Defence Pact, or AUKUS, and what an auspicious time for a ramp-up of Cold War anti-China fervour in the media. Great news for Biden and ScoMo, both needing poll boosts, Biden needing one due to the aftermath of the USA leaving Afghanistan, and Scott Morrison due to the aftermath of him leaving work early. Jesus, it's 1 PM. Can we fly to Hawaii yet? Announcing a new military alliance. What a picture-perfect public relations opportunity.
Has FriendlyJordies been lefty-pilled in any way, shape, or form? Because I know he's always been kind of like a liberal in what he does, but I feel lately, ever since that whole incident in which one of his co-workers got arrested by the police for justifiably mocking a politician, it was kind of like this revelation of the power of the state or something.
All their polling problems would be solved. Almost nothing could mess that up. Almost nothing.
Thank you, Boris. And I want to thank that fellow down under. Thank you very much, pal.
That was so
Appreciate
funny.
it, Mr. Prime Minister.
Maybe God doesn't want us to go to war with China. In one fell swoop, Biden played into the coverage that he's senile and experiencing cognitive decline, and Scott Morrison got gifted more evidence that he's a forgettable nobody that everyone hates. He's not even worth remembering when you're announcing that he's one of the 3 key parties in one of the most consequential military agreements in history. So I'm very glad that clip stole a lot of limelight off the announcement. The only thing that could have made the announcement for AUKUS even better is if Johnson, Biden and ScoMo played some glam rock about bombing Beijing or some shit and... Hang on. I say we raise some AUKUS, Jack. What do you say? I say we raise some trilateral security pacts, baby. Let's raise some trilateral security pacts! If you don't get that joke, you haven't heard the best song of all time. Go listen to it.
Ready? Let's raise some ruckus, baby. What do you say?
Let's raise some hell. Let's raise some hell. I say let's raise some ruckus. No, I say let's raise some cane.
Let's raise some cane!
Yes. Yes, I am so here for whatever is about to happen. This is amazing. Thank you all. Thank you to the content gods. I don't know what we've done to deserve this, but this is most glorious. And we give thanks. We give thanks. No, just because I'm just thinking there's no chords connected to anything, so they're just, I want the version of this without the music dubbed over it, you know, like, because it's gonna sound like a bunch of guys strumming strings. Oh, this is so glorious.
Ain't no shame. Ain't no blame.
Rock and roll, baby.
No one's sane. All the time. Raise some cane. Make it right. Don't
Could you imagine if this was my first DMCA strike? Like it came down from Wally World and Sonata's Race Some Cane.
Every day and night. Raise some cane. Make things right. Don't be mad. Gonna rock you all night.
Random woman in the background in the bikini.
Mention amid all
Your time
of
to
it.
shine.
When you need some help, just call to the man up above. The only thing you're about to get is true love. When you're feeling down and you want some love, always keep in mind, look to the pretty white dove.
Yes! Rock! Rock! Yes! Fuck yeah! Love the slash hat. Yeah, I think someone definitely just walked by using their phone. Just a bunch of other people hanging out at the beach. Could you imagine looking over and seeing that? Because again, none of this is plugged in, so you would just hear them emptily strumming, like cling, 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 cling. The other guy's like, raise some cane.
Raise some cane. Raise some cane. Whoa.
Fucking slamming. Thank you, FriendlyJordies. I have context now. I didn't fully understand that joke before, but I do now.
I say we raise some AUKUS, Jack. What do you say?
I say we raise some trilateral security pacts, baby.
Let's raise some trilateral security packs!
It's even better in context. Even better in context. All right. Yes, makes perfect sense.
You don't get that joke, you haven't heard the best song of all time. Go listen to it, then come back and watch this video about a trilateral security pack ostensibly designed to counter.
It was already a good joke. I already enjoyed it on its own, but that makes it much better.
Ain't no shame.
As Kevin Rudd notes, the AUKUS announcement was timed strategically as part of ScoMo's pre-election agenda shift, which, holy shit, what an indictment on the Australian public if that's a winning message. Hey, instead of dying of a Chinese virus because I couldn't be f***ed to make a phone call to get vaccines, why don't we send off young men to get shot by the Chinese instead? How good are unwinnable wars? You know why it's so obvious that it's a PR move? Because the Libs aren't tough on China, nor do they take the threat of China seriously. Or at least not seriously enough to remove a CCP associate from their own party. I have a whole video outlining just some of the stuff Scott Morrison as Treasurer ticked off on China buying or leasing from Australia. Hashtag ScoMo, keep it going. Everything from the Port of Darwin to giant agribusinesses. The only time the Libs are tough on China is when being tough presents a PR opportunity for them or a business opportunity for defence companies. But if being tough on China gets in the way of their donors making money, you can rule out any action by the Libs at all. In 2009, when Kevin Rudd was Prime Minister and his defence white paper was the first one that addressed the rise of China, you know what the Libs said? This is so mean to China. We are never going to war with them. The Liberals are foreign policy illiterate. I've read Howard's biography. I don't know how many times in it he says, I reject the foolhardy assertion that China will ever be more powerful than Morocco. It was only a few years ago, in 2014, when Tony Abbott signed the Chinese-Australia Free Trade Agreement. Now he's pretending, so much has changed in the world, I'd never sign it. Now, what has changed is that Scott Morrison ran the
It's good to know. It doesn't matter where you are. Could be Australia, could be Canada, could be the good old US of A. Politics is kind of the same sea. Kind of seems like everything kind of gravitates around arms sales, you know, and then profit. That's kind of unites all of us, you know.
Worst vaccine rollout in the OECD, and now he's trying to attempt to run an election campaign on
Labor's headquarters are in Chinatown. Every time Labor gets a new leader, they meet in this restaurant. Coincidence? My fortune cookie says no. When the Labor Party says ni hao, say no.
This is not new ground for the Libs. Kevin Rudd points out how Australia's decision to blindly follow the US into a completely botched Iraq war was informed by Howard's electoral prospects, and now this pact is no different. The first and most significant thing that AUKUS will do is allow Australia to access secret US technology to build their own...
On the topic of news media, have you seen The Matrix showing the Canadian media endorsements in the last 4 elections? There's a major right-wing bias. Yeah, I can't remember if I've retweeted it right before the election, but yeah, I've spoken about it many times. If you look at the endorsements, it's almost always conservative, like across the board. Our media in Canada is overwhelmingly right-wing.
Own fleet of nuclear subs. Notwithstanding all the risks associated with nuclear energy, because I really don't want my comment section to become another nuclear subreddit, the reason for building them doesn't stack up. Kevin Rudd really outlines this perfectly in this article, but I'll quickly go through why. One of the reasons given to justify nuclear subs was that they're quieter than diesel subs, but here's a great rebuttal: they're not. Say it with me. As Kevin Rudd points out, this is just code word for get ready for war in the Pacific. I mean, I guess nuclear subs don't have to come up for air as often, but to best that epic argument for spending $100 billion of taxpayer money, I'm going to have to bring out the big guns. Another Prime Minister, Paul John Keating. As the idea of nuclear subs is truly predicated on a conflict with China. What good is being able to have subs that stay underwater for longer if it's pretty dead set we're going to lose the conflict they're in anyway? It's like telling, I don't know, Woody Allen, all right, Woody, you gotta box Floyd Mayweather, but don't worry, we'll give you a special advantage. Here, use this stick to hit him with.
Gee, I don't know. Maybe I should talk to my therapist about this.
Paul Keating may have done a better job of explaining it. Here's his spin. If the US military, with all its might, could not beat a bunch of Taliban rebels with AK-47 rifles in pickup trucks, what chance would it have in a full-blown war against China? Not only the biggest state in the world, but the commander and occupant of the largest landmass in Asia. When it comes to conflict, particularly among great powers, land beats water every time. This is compounded by the fact that we were getting a fleet of subs from France already, and they came with the added bonus of not costing our sovereignty.
I'm not clicking on it.
Now we're getting even shitter subs, and there's still shit subs we were getting from the frogs. And I don't know about you, but I'd rather my aquatic defense gear coming from frogs over fatties. ScoMo didn't even think to let France know that he was cancelling a $90 billion deal, a deal that was said to be Australia's largest acquisition of defence equipment in our history. What? That along with the vaccines didn't warrant a phone call? I'm telling ya, this fella from down under is sick of making goddamn phone calls! Naturally, this really pissed off France. They recalled their ambassador, and now President Macron is refusing to take Morrison's calls. Which, let's be honest, ScoMo's probably stoked about.
4-day weekend.
So one of the first things that AUKUS led to was bickering and a great degradation of diplomatic relations between countries that are meant to be allied against China. I'm sure China's shaking in their boots. And just
Floyd
to
hits
top it
women?
off, another scary thing about this pact is the media's response feels as if we're back in the 50s. The ABC is constantly having on defence industry funded shills touting war with China as if it's both A, snake oil, and B, inevitable. I think the media's response warrants a whole video, but for now I'm just going to read some more words from Paul Keating. Peter Harcher's bi-weekly froth-mouthed articles about China and its supposed threat, along with Chris Ullman and his wicked representation of China as marauding Nazis.
The subs have little to do with Australia getting subs and all about giving Australia facilities to service and support US nuclear subs. Not just that. Profit. There's a lot of money to be made here. $100 billion, it would seem.
Has constituted an important part of the climate that has allowed Morrison to now shop the country to the Americans. China...
Just. You think you're clever, do you? Well, you know what? I'm revoking your privileges as well. Now I won't click on any of your links either. I hope it was worth it. Yes, you can go down with Kubi.
Does not attack other states. Unlike the United States, which does attack other states. Yet the Herald and the Age have portrayed China as an aggressor power with malevolent intentions. How good is Paul Keating? He wrote that in the SMH, mind you. What a fucking gangster. He thinks Australia is its own sovereign nation and is really good at insulting people. That is 2 qualities we'd be very lucky to see in a Prime Minister ever again. But I'll end today's video on this note. ScoMo spent his tenure as Treasurer selling our sovereignty to China, and now as Prime Minister he's selling it to the US. What a bright future ahead of us. Like and subscribe.
Please share and comment below. Comment.
That was good. I'm still getting some pretty Libby vibes from FriendlyJordies, but I think maybe that's a good thing. I think if liberals can get on board with this, because guess what? There's way more liberals than there is actual leftists. If liberals want to get on board on this idea, I'm so for it. We all pay taxes, most of us do. We all pay taxes to be part of these clubs called countries. The taxes are the dues, and in turn we get things back from the governments that we give all these taxes to for programs that we all want. Unfortunately, as of right now, if you're an American, the majority of your money is, well, not the majority, but a lot of your money is going into defense spending, into the military and the military-industrial complex. So if everyone gets on board with this thing that, hey, we're spending all this money on shit we don't want, and on shit we don't need, or maybe way too much on shit we don't need, and we can spend it on other things that we desperately need, like really need right now, you know, like healthcare, dental care, pharmacare, all that kind of stuff, it would be better for everybody. So that message, getting out to as many people as possible, is a very good thing, okay? I would love if all the liberals could get on board with that, because for them, I don't really, I don't think it's a popular thing in any, maybe even right-wingers are on board with this. Like, who loves giving the military-industrial complex money? Weirdos. And people who have stock in the military-industrial complex. But otherwise, who's on board with this? Who wants this? Really? And we're still doing it as the thing. So I think people need to wake up to this, you know? More people need to learn about it.
Now here's something we hope you'll really like.
Let's all try to put the pieces back together again.
Hey, do you like movies? Do you like Serfs? Do you want movies and Serfs watching the movies? So then come over to the new channels. It's the Serfs, the cinema. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Can you do the thing, you know, that thumbs up and comment and all those things that help us out in the algorithm that controls every aspect of our lives? Also, if you happen to have a Facebook account, can you delete it? Like, just delete it. You should probably delete your Facebook account, because it's not a great company. But hey, if you can't do that for whatever reason, I understand. And could you also go to facebook.com/thesurftimes then, and give us a little like and a follow. We're just trying to push back against the fact that people like Ben Shapiro happen to dominate the platform entirely. And when everyone asks, why do older generations believe the things they believe? One of the problems is the majority of them on social media use Facebook. So to counter that, we're just going to be on there too now. Also, if you happen to have a union or a worker co-op or even a leftist project, podcast, website, Zoom, MySpace, it doesn't matter. We will advertise it for free on this channel. All you got to do is go to weareserfs.com and use the forms that we got there, weareserfs.com. Thanks, everybody.
To our gods, Xander Corvus and Peyton L. Just, may you shower us mortals with gifts from the heaven. To our monarch, Tom Spiker, we are your humble jesters, clowning around for your amusement. To our lord, Trevor R. and Alexander Thaler, we give you our thanks for this meager land for us to toil our seed. To our knights of the Round Table, Egbard Sealine, Matthew Scarborough, Stellar Vision, Ariana McCarthy, Daniel Sutton, Ants Are Still Running the World, Coulter Smith, Tom Groh, Val 9000, Jenna Tal, Dark Puppy, Quiet One 85, Anna Loves Riley, Omni, Riley and Anna, Poodlehawk, The Tim Caucus, Multimondi, Trevor Janis, Lemmy 101, Anthropophojak, Saren 42, Chronic de Hemphog, Catherine, Radical Maniac, Ramon Acosta, Incosin, Violent Orchard, Sophie Baby, Political Puppy, Andreas Chiringuito, Zach Christensen, Josh Mickelson, Todd Buckingham, and Todd Lajeunesse. We raise our glasses and we salute you, our comrades.